For all the saints who from their labors rest. It would be so nice just to be able to sing a song again in church with our friends and relatives and neighbors. I miss those moments, and there will be a return, I'm certain. But at the moment, for me to sing in front of and with other people may not necessarily be the safest thing to do. So we'll listen to the songs, and listen to the hymn, and we will commemorate this day, All Saints' Day, in various ways. For many of us, it's a time of reflection, recalling those names of those persons who have gone before us, those persons from our families and from our churches who have passed on. And it's important for us to remember. It's important for us to affirm that relationship that continues even after this mortal coil has been passed beyond. I think especially this day of a new friend in my life, Sylvia, who I had a chance to work with and talk with and pray with this summer. Sylvia's from New Jersey, but she actually comes originally from Lebanon. She's a Lebanese Christian, and she was brought here to Erie, Pennsylvania by her daughter in order for her to be cared for during her final months of life in this world. And I was invited into a conversation, given wonderful Lebanese pastry and food, the most delicious grape leaves, but also given an opportunity to engage in conversation with Sylvia. Sylvia had many questions. Sylvia had many prayers. Sylvia also shared a love of Khalil Gibran with me. And when I told her that I was married to Al Mitra, who in Khalil Gibran's book, The Prophet, is the priestess in the temple, she was very much interested. And she said, I have some serious questions for Khalil Gibran. And I said, well, maybe we'll have opportunities to talk about those questions. We never really had the chance to talk about Khalil Gibran's poetry and the depth of his message. But I am very thankful for the opportunity to have my faith confirmed as I worked with Sylvia, as I prayed with Sylvia, as I anointed Sylvia and held her hand, even just a day before she passed recently. So I decided, what can I do to commemorate this moment, but also to commemorate All Saints' Day and what we believe in our Christian faith, grounded in Judaism, grounded in a relationship with God, which is very personal. And so I went back to the Prophet, Khalil Gibran's beautiful book of poetry, and I wanted to know what he had to say about death. So I share this with you. Then Al Mitra spoke, saying, we would now ask of death. And the Prophet said, you would know the secret of death, but how shall you find it unless you seek it in the heart of life? The owl whose night-bound eyes are blind until the day cannot unveil the mystery of light. If you would indeed behold the spirit of death, open your heart wide unto the body of life. For life and death are one, even as the river and the sea are one. In the depth of your hopes and desires lies your silent knowledge of the beyond. And like seeds dreaming beneath the snow, your heart dreams of spring. Trust the dreams, for in them is hidden the gate of eternity. Your fear of death is but the trembling of the shepherd when he stands before the king whose hand is to be laid upon him in honor. Is the shepherd not joyful beneath his trembling, that he shall wear the mark of the king? Yet he is not more mindful of his trembling. For what is it to die, but to stand naked in the wind, and to melt into the sun? And what is it to cease breathing, but to free the breath from its relentless tides, that it may rise and expand and seek God unencumbered? Only when you drink from the river of silence shall you sing. And when you have reached the mountaintop, then you shall begin to climb. And when the earth shall claim your limbs, then shall you truly dance. These words are now 97 years old, but just as relevant, just as current, just as inspiring. So I thank my friend Sylvia, who has gone beyond, where she is indeed singing, and she is climbing, and I know that she is truly dancing. Amen.